It's a time for the Omega GameCube, or is it just a naughty cube? Let's find out. Welcome to the Wicked Gamer and Collector. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video we are going to take a close look at the Nintendo GameCube Omega. Yes people, this is something I just needed to get in the collection and show you here on the channel because this thing is pretty damn awesome. But before we're going to do our chit chat about this product, the reason why I bought is because the Nintendo GameCube has a really special place in my wicked heart. It's a highly underrated game system. The same goes with the Xbox Classic. Nowadays I did notice that the value of games and also the consoles of the Nintendo GameCube going up in value, and because it's just a really amazing system. This tiny cube that Nintendo made is more like a piece of engineering that a lot of people didn't realize there was out there. Because, including myself, I had a PlayStation 2 back in the day. I did purchase a Nintendo GameCube later on. I can still remember it when it was €99. And I think that will translate in the same amount almost in dollars back in the day. But the point is more like it was very cheap. And then I picked one up and realized that I really missed out something. So now seeing this Nintendo GameCube Omega, I needed to have this in my collection. And this thing has so much awesome thing it can do. Something maybe you have never seen before. So therefore, we're going to take a close look at the Nintendo, or better said, Nintendo GameCube Omega. Alright, so in short, what is the Omega GameCube? It's very simple. It's a GameCube that has the Wii Key Fusion mod. It has the HDMI signal output modification, the CF card function / modification, and we're having the RGB Light mod that you can even use and combine with an app on your phone. We're having the option to have a special paint job by Bakuku mods, but I chose just to keep it original like this. But if you want to have a personal paint job, that is even possible. So one of the first things that we're going to need when you're having a GameCube Omega and you want to have all these modifications, we're going to need a mod chip. So Bakuku mod chose for the Wii Key Fusion mod. It's basically one of the best mod chips out there, and one of the reasons he chose for this because this thing doesn't have any negative influence on your original hardware from Nintendo. No, because when you're using a different chip or maybe a wrong chip or a cheaper chip, that sounds kind of funny, but then we're having the problem that it will wear out your DVD drive. So the mod chip itself has been reflashed with Swiss to give the options that we're going to get, especially with this Omega GameCube. And I mean with the 480p output signal with the HDMI connection, and we also have the option for homebrew. We can emulate all retro games, and we can do so much more with this chip than we're having with the stock one. But besides the Wii Key Fusion mod that we're going to also need for the SD function that we're going to use in this GameCube. And not to be forgetting, yeah, that makes this thing basically the Nintendo GameCube Naughty Edition, because it is possible to play backups, but also you can use other games from different regions through the disk drive. I think that is pretty neat. So that brings us to the back of the system. Here we're having the SD card function. I think this is one of the awesome things that we can do with the GameCube Omega. It's a very expensive mod, and for the people wondering why should you even bother, now I think the most amazing thing is with an SD card, that first of all we don't have the wear anymore on our discs, because those discs will not be forever. And beside that point is also we're having the option to play the games very easily. Alright, so let's take a close look at the menu itself. So booting up, nothing has been changed, just the original boot up menu. But when I go to gameplay, yeah, there we're going to get the first difference. As you can see, we're going to get the Swiss for GameCube boot up sequence. Okay, basically what you can do, pressing start now, boot up the system. It will go into the bootloader. As you can see over here, we already have some games preset over here. It doesn't even matter what kind of region you have, it will boot up the game, and both will be forced into 480p. There are some tweakings I will show you later on with the HDMI function. And Swiss, you can do so many cool things with this. For example, you can load up from an SD card slot B, you can manage the memory card. Nevertheless, there's a lot of stuff you can do with this, and also boot up the game from this menu. Okay, so when you're looking at the SD function, we're still going to need a second SD card. Yeah, and the reason why with the second port on the memory card slot, we're going to use this special converter. So I want to take a close look at this, because what you can do with this option combined with this GameCube, it will need to patch the games. But the problem is with the main SD, where you're having the games on, it can only read. So what you need to do, having a second card that reads and writes. So therefore we're going to need the second one in slot number 2. Alright, so if you're going to zoom in, you will see a tiny black button. And this is why I think the next level when you're making a GameCube like the Omega. So let's say you want to have a game and this game has multiple discs. How are you going to do this? It's very simple. When you're playing the game and it asks for a different disc, what you're going to need to do is the following thing. You're going to put up the switch. This basically gives the signal to the GameCube that it's opening the disk drive. What you're then going to do is switch out the SD card. With the second card will be the second game, or the disc 2 or 3, what you're going to need. And with this way you can swap out the games the naughty way. Okay, so next up, I think this is the most interesting part of the GameCube, the HDMI out function. Oh yeah, and we're going to do a quick comparison with another GameCube, but that is what we're going to talk about later on. So the HDMI function, when you're looking at the back, you can see that we're having this mini HDMI connection, so you're going to need a converter or a special cable. Okay, so what I like about this is not your typical HDMI. We can get the best resolution and the best quality image from the GameCube, straight from the mainboard. And that is something that is pretty cool, and this is what we're going to get with Omega. This is just the next level when you want to have signal output. Beside the point, but let's dive deep into the HDMI, because when you're playing some games, there are some interesting stuff you can do. Okay, one of the first things that I think is pretty cool is when you're looking at the region games. So even if you're having in PAL or in European version, we can force it into 480p. Okay, so when you're booting up, let's say, or better said, a different region, press the A button twice and hold the B. And as you can see, we're going to get the message that we want to go to progressive mode. In other words, what you can do is that you can basically force the game into 480p, and this game looks amazing on 480p. And when you're in the game itself and you're holding the L, R, X and Y, you're going to get this extra option, so we can add scanline settings, picture settings, OSD settings, output settings. As you can see, we're having a lot of different options, and we can even do some tweaking over here. And also you can check out what is the input and the output signal. So when it comes to these options, there is so much you can change out, and there are even so many new options. And another cool feature, you can also choose what kind of output signal you want, and if you want to put it on 16:9 aspect ratio, you can do that too. So another neat feature, what I do like about the GameCube Omega, this is more like an extreme niche, is that when you want to play with the GameCube, not with the HDMI, but you want to connect this with a component cable. What he did is using this component cable from a GameCube, including this adapter, giving you the possibility to play the old school way with this cable. Okay, so next up what we're going to do, we're doing a quick comparison with F-Zero GX. So what we're going to do, we're going to boot up the same game. With the original GameCube that I'm having here, we're going to boot it up. I'm going to show you with the cheap cable, the HDMI cable, and of course we're going to side-by-side comparison with the Omega GameCube, where we're going to push it into 480p 60 FPS. Alright guys, I hope you enjoy it, so let's see how good is the quality and what are the differences. Okay, all the previous games were running on 480p. This game is running on 480i. So I wanted to show off the double liner option. Yeah, I know, man. I know, Crash. We're going to do something about it. Okay, so let's open up the menu. And as you can see, we're having a line doubler. Okay, let's put it on. And what you can see that we're having now 720 by 480p 60. Okay, so let's play a short game. And let's see how it looks. Yeah. Crash time. And don't forget to check out the gaming channel. If you want, I can make more gameplay regarding the Omega GameCube. So I will leave a link over there. Subscribe, join the channel, go join the Wicked Gaming family, and we're going to make some more awesome videos for you. Alright, so let's talk about the LED function of the GameCube. This thing is pretty cool. So normally what I did see in my previous builds or systems, that normally we're going to get one color, and if it's RGB it's going to be more like a basic RGB light feature that goes fade in, fade out. Not only the GameCube ports are light up the controller ports, and at the side we're having the RGB fan. But we're having the app that we can even use, so we can do a different theme, we can also choose a different color, and we can completely modify the LEDs in your GameCube. So I think combined with the app, I think it's just something pretty cool. And this is just the next step if you want to do an RGB LED mod in your GameCube. What I think is pretty cool, and just to round up this video, is that this thing has so many possibilities. And maybe it sounds a kind of bold statement, but this is just the best GameCube you can get. But when you're looking at the modification he did and what the possibilities are now, you can basically play all region games. You can preserve your games, put them on an SD card and play them this way. Also, you're having way faster load times. Combined with all the other things that we can do with it, I think even for a highly underrated system like this is just a great system for now, tomorrow, and forever. I want to thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit the little bell. Yeah, let me know what are your memories with the Nintendo GameCube. Did you ever own one? And what do you think of the Omega GameCube? And I will see you in the next video. We can say about this product now, it's a naughty cube. And you know, when it's naughty, it's going to get whipped. Yeah, like Mario says, it's a naughty cube. Woohoo! Let's go!